for research in the Eastern Cape. Rhodes University's Professor Adrienne Edkins has received close to 2 million rand from the British government to tackle HIV-related cancer as part of an international program which aims to provide opportunities for researchers in developing countries to foster long-term research partnerships with those in the United Kingdom. Now, to help us unpack this, I'm now joined via Skype by Professor Adrienne Edkins, the Director at the Rhodes University Biomedical Biotechnology Research Unit. Prof, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program. So most of us lay people, when we talk about HIV and AIDS, most of us are exposed to the understanding that, you know, things like TB are related to HIV and AIDS. It's a surprise to me, but is cancer something also that can be related to HIV and AIDS?
Absolutely. So thank you very much for inviting me to the program. So certainly people who are infected with HIV have the same chances of a wide variety of cancers as anyone else. And then there are some cancers that are more prevalent in people who have HIV infection. And particularly in the context of this project, we're looking at a cancer that is called Kaposi sarcoma. And this is a cancer that has an infectious basis, so it's also associated with a particular virus called Kaposi sarcoma herpes virus. And essentially this is the most common cancer in HIV-infected individuals, and we have no specific treatments for it. And it remains in one of the top 5 cancers, particularly in South African men.
All right. Do we have any idea just how sort of incidence of this kind of cancer in HIV patients? Is it an alarmingly high number in comparison to other normal cancers that people get during their lifetimes?
Yeah, so it is more common than, you know, your general cancer, but it was essentially at its height during the AIDS pandemic. And since we've had antiretroviral therapies, the proportion of people getting KS has actually reduced. And so that's a really good thing. The problem is that not everybody who goes on ART will be prevented from getting the cancer. And also there are some people who, when they actually start ART, will undergo an inflammatory response that can have serious side effects and can sometimes even be fatal. And so there's a lot to still understand about the biology of the virus in terms of, you know, why do only certain people who are HIV infected get KS? You know, why does, how does the virus interact with the cells? Why do some people respond to the antiretroviral therapies where others don't? And so there's a lot of information, and really our project is to look at the nuts and bolts of the biology of the virus, how it interacts with the host cell, and then see if we can start to find and use that fundamental information to go in and get new therapies.
All right, so tell us about this collaboration, because this is all in partnership with the UK university, isn't it?
Absolutely. So it actually also involves collaborator at UKZN. So Dr. Anissa Mosam is a dermatologist working at UKZN and is part of the team. And then we're teaming up with Professor Adrian Whitehouse, who's at Leeds University. And he is an international expert in this particular cancer. And so it's a really fantastic opportunity for us to start to build the skills that we need to work on these types of cancers in South Africa. Because a major component of this is also going to be training South African students in the research processes and methods and techniques that we need to try and come up with a solution from South Africa.
All right, so to give us a sense of timelines, how close are we to starting to get towards answers? Is this going to be a long journey?
Yes, unfortunately, we're at least in terms of us, we're at the start of the project, and it really is at this point a fundamental study to look at the role of a particular cellular protein that we think might be a good target. We've got some promising data in the beginning, so I'm optimistic. But yes, it is going to be a multi-year project before we see anything tangible that could be applied in the clinic or beyond.
Professor Edkins, we're going to leave it there, but thanks so much indeed for giving us an insight to some of the important work that you're embarking on, and we wish you the best of luck, and perhaps we can chat in the near future and see how things are going. Thanks so much indeed.